Hey everybody, and welcome back to FSi DFS. I'm McKinley412, looking at the 7-game slate, Day 3 of the NHL. If you don't know already, we here at FSi DFS do provide content for multiple sports. I believe one of our coaches, Megaroar, he's going to be having a NFL preview video out for Thursday Night Football, so go check that one out for the showdown. But if you want to come join our Discord, you can come join the NHL channel for completely free. Just go to our website, it's down in the description below, FSiDFS.com. You'll see a subscription page, and then there will be a daily package. Completely free. $0, 0 cents, won't cost you a dime. You can come hang out with us. You can ask me questions. You can meet some of the members of our community. It's just a great big family there. So hope to see you there. And let's just dive right into the slate. Devils, Vegas, and the Stars. You got our 3 biggest favorites on the money line here tonight. All the games are over under 6.5, except for the Seattle-Nashville game, which is at 6. Would not shock me if it did creep up a little bit towards that 6.5. We saw on opening night, Nashville plays that kind of run-and-gun style of hockey now under this new coach, which is what he said he wants to do. He wants to make it entertaining for the fans. So I think that game could go a little bit higher as we get closer to lock. Going towards the projected goalkeepers. It's all color-coded green. And this is last year's stats. Green is good, red is bad, obviously. NHL average for goalkeepers is usually around 905 to 910 save percentage. So Gustafsson at 931 was incredible. And he really was. He had a fantastic season last year for Minnesota, and hopefully he's going to keep it moving forward here as well. Really big fan of him. Devin Levi, he's kind of like the one outlier in terms of all this. And I say outlier just because he only has around 6 games to his name. He's a very, very young up-and-coming prospect for Buffalo. He is supposed to be the goaltender to save the franchise from their playoff drought. It's a lot to ask for a young 21-year-old rookie goaltender, but I mean, he's shown flashes of what he's able to do. So super excited to watch Levi. Everybody else, it's pretty accurate. They have enough sample size to go along with them. So looking at the line stacks, New Jersey. Top line, Toffoli, Jack Hughes, and Jesper Bratt. New Jersey, there's going to be a juggernaut this season. We saw glimpses of it last season. I think they're going to be even stronger this season as well. They've added Timo Meier at the trade deadline last year and just have a bunch of new additions. So they're going to be the top option, in my opinion, especially Bratt. Bratt gets the blue highlight here today just because he's one of my favorite plays on the entire slate. And the pricing really for Toffoli and Bratt really allows us to do this full line stack, and they get full power play correlation, all skating on that top power play unit. New Jersey, 7-0 in the preseason. All 3 of these guys did very well. Bratt, he actually led the team in terms of points. He only played 4 games in the preseason, but he had 4 goals, 5 assists, and 14 shots on net. Hughes, he had 3 goals, 5 assists, also in 4 games, and Toffoli had 4 points in 4 games, so a goal and 3 assists. But he's only 3.6K, and he can shoot the puck. Wouldn't shock me if he gets up to like 3 shots on net at least. So I think this top line for New Jersey is going to be my favorite stack on the entire slate. Dallas, line 1, Robertson, Hintz, and Pavelski. This is one of the best trios in all of hockey, but they are also priced up quite a bit. They're all great. They're all priced where I feel like they should be. And it's whereas like New Jersey, like Toffoli and Bratt are just far too cheap. But these guys, they're priced where they should be. Dallas, they're picked by a lot of people to, kind of go to the Stanley Cup Finals this season and kind of represent the West. Great matchup. They're going up against St. Louis. If you look down here towards the special teams, Dallas, they had top 5 power play unit in the league last season, whereas the penalty kill for St. Louis was a bottom 3 team. They finished 30th in the entire league. When they took a penalty, it was not pretty. So all these guys, they got the power play correlation. They're going to be skating at even strength as well. It's really just the salary that diminishes. I think is going to diminish their ownership ever so slightly. But there's going to definitely be a lot of ownership in terms of like the one-offs from this line. This third line, I wrestled on who I wanted to put in the third line here. Obviously, Vegas is a big favorite, minus 245, going up against a weak San Jose team, who's arguably one of the worst teams in the league and still kind of trying to figure things out. But I went with Rangers. I went with the top line of New York, Chris Kreider, Mikko Zibanejad, and Kaapo Kakko. Kakko, I think he's really going to break through this season. He's 3.8K. He doesn't get the full power play correlation on this line. He plays on that second power play unit. But I still think that 3.8 is just a little too cheap for him. He actually had the second most points for the Rangers in the preseason. Albeit it was only 3 points. They kind of did not play their stars too much during that preseason. But one of the main reasons I like this is that Buffalo just plays a really fast-paced game. They get up and down the ice. Last season, they were one of the best offenses in the entire league in terms of goals scored, but they also struggled mightily on the defensive end. And I already talked about Levi. They're relying on this guy, this 21-year-old rookie, to kind of save their franchise and bring them back away from the longest NHL playoff drought ever. So that's a lot of pressure on him. Would not shock me if New York can really, get some odd man rushes and really put it to Levi here in Buffalo, which would be disappointing. Full transparency, I am a big Buffalo Sabres fan, but I do think that this New York team could give them a little bit of a run for the money. They are favored on the road here for a reason. So going into the individual plays, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so we can get a little bit over towards these individual plays. Thompson for Buffalo, 8.5K. He's just he's very tall, he's very lanky, but he can handle the puck very well. 8.5K. It's more so I just think that that game could see quite a bit of goals, and I do like him there. Patrick Laine, he is now a center. It's weird seeing Laine in the center position, but he's going to be centering that top line for Columbus, facing off against a weaker Philadelphia team. Laine, he's going to have Johnny Gaudreau on the right-hand side. He's going to have Cole Sillinger on the left. We know Johnny Gaudreau and what he's capable of. And then Cole Sillinger, he's a first-round draft pick. I think he was number 12 or 13 overall just 2 years ago. So there's a lot of hype for him as well. I do actually like this Columbus top line, and you'll kind of notice it as we go through the individual players. Nico Hischier, 6.3K. He's going to be that second line for New Jersey. Really, second line, first line, their top six in New Jersey is just unreal and unmatched. So Hischier at 6.3K. He's going to be paired with Timo Meier at 6.6K. If you want to pair these two together, I think it could be a really intriguing GPP stack. I think the majority of people are going to be jamming in, Jack Hughes and Bratt and Toffoli. So Hischier and Meier might get a little bit of reduced ownership. Are they going to be super low owned? No, they're still going to see quite a bit of ownership, but I do think that they're fine plays at that price tag with a high ceiling. Matty Beniers, top line center for Seattle, 5.7K. Seattle's going up against Nashville. We already talked about how Nashville plays that running gun style. Could get out of hand pretty quickly there. Stevenson for Vegas, second line center, top power play unit. Got a goal and an assist in the first game, so we really like him. Sean Couturier. This guy has not played since 2021. He has had multiple back surgeries, but prior to those surgeries, prior to 2021, he was awesome. This guy is super talented, and 4.8K is way too cheap compared to when he left for these back surgeries. It remains to be seen, can he bring back that talent level, that speed, that toughness, that two-way center ability, offensively and defensively, that he once had. Remains to be seen, but I do think that it is a buy low possibility here for Couturier. And then Fantilli, 3K for the bottom spot in all the different positions. I kind of went with a top prospect in the league that is entering the league, and we went with Fantilli here at 3K for Columbus. Individual plays, Kaprizov for Minnesota. Minnesota's facing off against Florida. Florida does not have their top two defensemen for quite a while here. They're going to be missing Ekblad, and they're going to be missing I'm blanking on the second defender, but they're really weak on the defensive end here, or weaker than they should be on this defensive end. So I think that Minnesota could, get a little bit ahead of them here. So Kaprizov, Zuccarello is right there with him on that top line. Bjorkstrand at 4.5K. Again, played for Seattle. He actually was third on Seattle amongst forwards in ice time in that opening night bout, whatever you want to call it. 4.5K. He's a guy who, historically in his career shoots the puck. He likes to shoot the puck. He got 4 shots on net, so he was 1 away from that shot point bonus. I think that he could be a nice, decent, floor play at 4.5K if you are going into the mid tier. Cole Sillinger, just talked about him recently a little bit when I was talking about Patrick Laine. He's going to be skating on the left-hand side there. 3.5K, he was a higher prospect just 2 years ago. I think that he could be out for a little bit of a breakout year. I think we're going to see his price increase steadily throughout the year. I don't think it ever really breaks, 5,000, but I still think that 3.5 is still a very affordable and reasonable price tag for him. And then Zach Benson, 2.5K. He was the first round pick for Buffalo this season. Typically, you don't see guys who got drafted enter the league right away. Obviously, there are exceptions. Connor Bedard is an exception. But usually, your 1-2 overall picks usually get into the league right away, sometimes 3. But Benson, he was picked 13th. It's not normal, but he has earned it. He looked phenomenal throughout training camp. He looked phenomenal and took advantage of his opportunities during the preseason. So if you want to throw a dart on Benson, go for it. Over towards defense, Werenski for Columbus. Again, I seem to be really more interested in Columbus than I thought I was. But as I'm going through here, I think that Columbus could be a really intriguing maybe GPP option here tonight. 6.5K, he's coming off a long injury that he suffered early in the season last year. He's just returning now. Remains to be seen what he's capable of doing. Alec Pietrangelo for Vegas gets on that power play unit with Eichel, with all the big guns. And really, this is more so like the ice time. He got 26 minutes of ice time. He had 6 minutes more than Shea Theodore, which kind of caught me off of guard. I think it caught a lot of people off guard, honestly. And Pietrangelo, he can get on the score sheet. He can shoot the puck. He blocks shots. He kind of does everything while getting time on ice. So I do like him there. Miro Heiskanen, 5.6K. He could be the cheaper option. Like if you don't want a full line stack, the Robertson, Hintz, Pavelski top line for Dallas, maybe pick 2 of those guys and then jam in Heiskanen. So maybe you go Robertson, Hintz, and Heiskanen, or Hintz and Pavelski and Heiskanen. They all skate on the top power play unit. Heiskanen is going to be skating on the top power play unit for Dallas. He kind of quarterbacks it, meaning like he's like the point guard of the NBA. He's the point guard of this power play unit, and that he's kind of dishing the puck from the point. Jacob Trouba, 4.4K for the Rangers. I just like the floor that he always provides, and we were paying close to $6,000 for him last season, so we're getting a reduction in his salary. Could be an up and down affair in Buffalo in that matchup. He blocks shots, so the block shot bonus is always in play for him, and he shoots the puck quite a bit. He does have Adam Fox kind of reducing a little bit of his workload, but still, I think that 4.4 is a reasonable price tag for him. Ekman Larsson, 3.7K. I mentioned how Florida is just decimated by injuries on the defensive end, and really it's allowed Ekman Larsson to move up the ranks and quarterback the top power play unit. Cam York, he's also going to be power play 1 for Philadelphia, quarterbacking there. And then Luke Hughes, I have him blue because I actually really like him as well. He's probably going to be one of my favorite cheap deep plays, if not my favorite cheap defensive play here on the slate. Yes, he is related to Jack Hughes. Yes, they play on the same team. Yes, they skate on the same power play unit. So Hughes, Bratt, Hughes again could be a very nice trio that you could get, and the correlation to go along with it. In terms of goalie, Ottinger, I'm just a huge fan of Ottinger in general. Gustafsson, 7.9K. Again, he had I think the second best save percentage in the entire league last year, so got a lot of interest in him. And then Devin Levi, if you want to throw a dart, the hype is real for Levi. The hype is there, 100%. But again, he is still a rookie. He is still very young and being tasked to carry a franchise that has struggled defensively over the past, decade. That's kind of it. So these are just like the notable special teams. Rangers one of the better power play units last year against Buffalo's weak penalty kill unit. Buffalo, on the other hand, really good on the power play. Rangers 13th there. Minnesota, Florida, Dallas, Seattle, already talked about that. So yeah, so that kind of covers where this slate is. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Really do appreciate all the views that we have been getting. So please subscribe to this video. Subscribe to our channel. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the season. And again, Thursday night, this slate here, our NHL channel is completely free. Just go to our website, FSiDFS.com, and you can get free access to it. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contests, and we'll see you in the next one.